Welcome back. Sorry I haven't made a video in a little while. Pretty much the ATV is really wrapped up. I gotta weld the frame up, but it's been raining out the last few days. It's gonna be doing it all weekend and stuff, and where I weld at, the only outlet I got is near the door, and pretty much gotta be just exposed and stay outside and everything, so that's kinda on the back burner right now. But what we're gonna try to attempt today is getting this Homelite, get back on this project on this Homelite. So this 1958 721 Homelite. Weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Just ignore the dirty dishes, everything. Gotta do this in the house. Kind of cool outside. I don't like working out there. So we got carburetor parts cleaner. I've got a rebuild kit. Hopefully it works for it. But it's got to get off, get soaking. Ignition system on here. I've got this Nova 2 on here and tested. At least the coil does work. And this is how I'm going to have to make it work. The points and condenser, the new setup or whatever, was not working for me. So, as you can see, a few things got broken. I got to cut this nut off, and I do have a new old stock one right here to replace it with. So I'm going to have to Dremel that off and everything. The shroud here I have attempted to try to get off, and this one screw here, no matter how much you hit it with an impact or anything, it will not undo. So it's going to be going bye-bye. I hate to do it, but what can you do, right? The carburetor in question, which I don't have the kit out here at the moment, but I got it, is right here and everything. So a couple screws up at the top, right there, right up there, and then get those off and then get the ones back there. The governor on this is seized. It doesn't want to move on the carburetor. The choke right here is seized. I don't even think the throttle's even hooked up or how it hooks up, if it even has the linkage, which looks like it's missing up in there. So it does have start and everything, but we'll get into that later. The oiler does work. If I push that, it's going to have a squirt of oil everywhere, so I'm glad to know at least it works. But first thing here, get the carburetor off, get it soaking. Then next we're going to be tackling the ignition system, which, like I said, I'm going to just use this retro setup, just enough to have this run again and maybe do a couple little things, but nothing major. I'm not a Homelite guy, I'm a McCulloch guy, but as vintage and old as this is, I might as well get it running. Maybe somebody will want it, a Homelite collector, trade me in the future or whatever. So, that's pretty much all I got right now for the moment. I'll get that carburetor off here and get it soaking. So, be right back. Alright, got the carburetor off. Everything's kind of locked up or really tight right now because of a lack of years of sitting and lack of use and everything. Reed valves look... Wish this phone would focus. Anyways. There we go. They look halfway decent. They look really good. Nothing's rusted out on them. Take a look on the inside here, and there are the bearings. And they look to be in perfect shape. So, it's good to know they're not rotted, rusted out, or anything. So, I'll give them oil before closing up everything. Wish this thing would stay focused. Close up and everything. Oil that all down good, or decently with some 2-cycle. So, next step, get this bad boy apart and get her soaking and everything. Now, does anybody else hate these as much as I do, these kind of clamps? Kind of looks like an OE one versus up here. It's somebody's redone it, so I'm not sure. But, probably hear my little girl in the background there. So, yeah, get this apart, and then we'll tackle the magneto system, which we're going to need to do some soldering and everything and whatnot on. Lots of work there. It's going to take a few minutes to remember how it all goes back together, but I'm pretty sure I can find schematics on it and everything, so. Alright, get her soaking. Alright, real quick here. Somebody has been in here before me, and actually the gaskets they have in there look still to be in good shape. I mean, oil and everything on them, nice and flexible. Here's the diaphragm one with the gasket still on. I really don't want to separate them, sorry about that. And then here's the ones that I ordered, and I couldn't, well I could, but they're deathly expensive. These are Chinese ones, and guys have a lot of mixed feelings about these, and I kind of am too, about plastic here, and then, I mean, all the holes line up perfectly, and then I've got this one with the rubber and everything on it, and I mean, all the needles, they look identical, all of them do, But this thing is super clean on the inside. And I don't know, this diaphragm feels a little, it's super clean on the inside. Like I said, this diaphragm feels a little thin versus this one feels like it's, okay, it's about the same thinness. Here, we'll turn them over and we can, compare the two exact. And this one just feels like some, well, cheaper quality, or what you could say. And then this one feels like it's actually got something to it. So I may end up reusing the ones that it had in it. And if that doesn't work, then I'll take it back apart. It comes with all the necessary hardware gaskets, even a cork, which I haven't quite figured out where this one goes yet. But these other gaskets here, focus, there we go. Here, go on to these tidbits here and stuff, and I don't think I'm going to take that apart really. I know you're thinking, oh no, you're not doing a complete carb rebuild. Well, it is clean, and I'll test other things and whatnot, but that little diaphragm thingy in there, if it has it in here, which I don't see, so get it all clean. We'll get it all soaking here, and especially the main body. That's going to need all the TLC love it can get, so I'm going to kind of just rinse it off with some water, and then dry it, and then put it in the carb cleaner. We'll let it soak for maybe a day or two, or at least until I get the magneto setup finished here. So I did get the right kit, but there's just a couple things. Like I said, this is perfectly flat. This one's got some features on it, but somebody was in here before me and did clean it out, and I couldn't tell you how long this has been sitting. So we will get to cleaning here, getting back, and so on and so forth. Focus. Okay, you guys have no idea. I've spent the last like 2 hours trying to get stuff figured out, why I'm having issues, was having issues. I got it all back together and didn't have an ignition. So I ruled out I took off the switch here to make sure, rule that out. This is where it would solder into for killing, which I'm going to have to redo. And I tore it all back apart again, and where I soldered the wire that goes from the coil up to, which is this one right here, the first time it actually broke on me, like, I don't know, I got scared. So did that, resoldered a brand new, better wire onto it, and still had no ignition, and tried all the possibilities externally, nothing. Tore it all back apart, and where I'd soldered the two together and vacuum shrinked it, there's a hold down clamp, and the hold down clamp ripped the shrink tubing off and grounded it. So now we have ignition. So we've got that. We've got ignition. I got to hook up the switch still, but the carb is soaking overnight and we're good. So we're one step closer. Like I said, you can probably hear the frustration in my voice. You have no idea. That sucks so bad. I knew I had it wired up correctly, so I'll get all this redone here, and we'll get that. So I guess we'll call this part 1 or whatever, part 2 of this, getting ignition. I'll get that module put elsewhere. It may just stay on the outside. I may tuck it in somewhere, but all right. Next one, carburetor. Thanks for watching.